Hello, hello, good morning, good day. What's up? So we're here, episode 8. We're making it again, working on that consistency. Two more episode 8, I think episode 9. No, episode 8, not 9. I'm jumping ahead of myself. It's still episode 8. Two more to go to hit number 10, and then from there, see if the consistency keeps going or if I start falling off the map and slipping. But hopefully, I'm not slipping at that point. And when it comes to getting past 10, I'm already trying to think of stuff to do when that time comes. But the journey of building this back from scratch continues. There have been some fast starts, some quasi quick wins, and some losses and some changes. But that's all part of the journey. And the goal here is that I got some of the stuff to be able to look back to in the future, and see the progress that was made, where things started from. So when future me starts getting stressed or feeling like maybe just things are getting overwhelming, I can look back to where things started from scratch. And that's one of the big reasons doing this whole thing live and in front of everybody. So again, if you're here live, just say hi, don't be shy, don't be a stranger. And essentially my goal this week is to share some of the change I've had. So first things first, I'm happy I got the right camera on this time. Last time was the MacBook camera. A little weird setup, but I made it work. So now that that's fixed, that's all set up. So the goal for this week is just kind of sharing some of the changes that took place. So last week I spoke about how zooming out and thinking bigger of having the 90-day challenge, about having a more higher ticket offer. And in talking to the wife and getting some ideas, that's the direction to go into, but it was missing this whole glue that brought everything together. So it felt like I had these fragmented pieces of either services or offerings or even just like projects slash ideas. And I finally found a way to glue them all together in a way that makes sense and creates that classic like step ladder progress funnel, whatever you want to call it. And the whole goal there is to create an offer ladder, is what I'm looking for, that starts off with something that's low friction and works up to something that's a bit more higher friction, which also commands a higher price point. But the whole goal is I need to be able to, one, start getting myself out there in front of an audience with the messaging that I have going, with the whole point of bringing an end to faceless content, the whole point that people need to get themselves out there. People are buying from people. They want to see your personality, your style, your flaws. They don't want a cookie cutter response of someone reading a letter that's been verified by 3 PR agencies and everything like that. It's You're starting out, you're an expert in your space, you're good at what you do, your customers love you, they have a good time interacting with you because you're you. And we need to get more of that out on camera in front of a stage and out to people so that your prospective buyers know that your personality, your skill set, obviously you're the best at what you do, you're good at what you do. But if all things being equal, everyone's as good as what they are and what they're doing, whether it's a service offering or their product, the then differentiating factor is the person behind it. Who is the person I like most? Who is the person I get a connection with that I want to do business with? And the whole goal is getting that side of people to shine out more on camera. That's the big mission. And so I'm going to jump right into sharing the drawing that I made. So essentially, this is how everything ties in together. So things started off with expert insight sessions, which is still, I'll say, the flash, like the main product, the main service offering, where we meet people once a month, hop on a video call. I ask deep questions to really open and extract some information and knowledge, give them a bit of coaching to feel more comfortable on camera, a bit more loosey goosey, let that personality shine. And then we repackage that up into bite-sized videos, long-form videos, blog posts, and social content for their team to push out. That is a product that other people are doing. That's a service that other people are doing as well. And the differentiating factor in what I'm doing versus what others were doing is that we're focusing on the transformation that's happening on those calls. So people come in feeling a little bit shy, and they walk out months later feeling exponentially more confident and more able to affirm more what they're saying in their message. So that's the differentiating factor. And then there's the 90-day coaching, where it's for folks who really need to get into like a boot camp style thing, similar to like fitness gyms, where they'll get you into a 90-day or 30-day challenge, get you up and running, make you feeling good. And once you're feeling good, sign you up to that monthly plan. So I'm taking that same structure. And that's where the 90-day coaching is, where on a daily basis, weekly basis, we're getting calls, you're getting coach, you're getting tips, you're getting advice. You're being pushed essentially being pushed to your limits to kind of break through that shell, because a lot of the stuff that are blocking people from wanting to be on camera is stuff that don't exist. You're scared of people are going to think about you. You're too busy worried about how your voice sounds. Nobody cares. Like all the answers are nobody cares. It's really just a thing about getting out there, getting those reps in, and doing it over and over again, and being the one person in your space who's consistently showing up over and over and over again, which is also a reminder for myself to keep doing these after week 10, but 1 week at a time. So now I had all these things, and I was able to finally put them together in a cohesive way with a journey that makes sense, so that now when I focus on myself and getting my message out there, I have that low level offer to hit people with instead of sending them straight to that higher ticket. So I'm going to hop in and show the design I drew for the funnel or the offer ladder. I'll call it the offer ladder. This is my actual hand drawing. Like I said, I'm very bare bones. There's no extra fluff. Let me see if I could zoom in a bit here. Let me click on the image. Oh, okay, no. So essentially, there's a few things. So the star is the EIS, which is the expert insight session. That is the main product that the whole video premise, the whole rebuilding the business started from. This is the product that went from being a digital marketing agency with a heavy focus on SEO to being a digital marketing agency, technically, or a content marketing agency with a big focus on video first. That's expert insight sessions, the whole thing, the whole shebang. That again is what the whole homepage here is built upon, becoming the recognized expert in your industry. And then there's the whole how it works and the package. You get 1 monthly call, 3 to 4 long form videos, 6 to 8 shorts. You get an expert video starter kit where I send you a whole package to your house with the lights, a green screen, a proper microphone so that you have everything you need ready to go. So that's EIS in a nutshell. But then the thing that was needed there was a different package that was a bit more intensive, a bit more higher value, that may not sell as often, but it also what came to realize that this acts as an anchor point. And that's where it's the whole 90-day challenge. So the 90-day challenge essentially is for 90 days, we work on getting you from fumbling and mumbling and feeling shy and awkward and doubting yourself in front of a camera to being someone that's a bit more presentable, more confident. You're able to say what you got to say. You're able to ramble off a few quick key points, ideas without issues. Your usage of ums reduce. And the thing is that this is not a media training. It's not the same thing as media training. The difference with what we're doing versus media training is we're trying to bring the inside personality of who you are out. So again, I always like to say, if you have any quirks, any weirdnesses about you, the things that you do that are different, we want that to shine out more because that shows one, you're a person, you're human, you're a person that someone may want to have a beer with or have a coffee with. And when people are doing business, they want to hire someone to work with someone that they feel comfortable with. And the greatest way for people to be comfortable with is for you to just show yourself. Because if you're going out there putting on a facade every time, reminding the notes that the media trainer gave you to act like this, do this, and like you feel like you're just kind of not being authentically yourself, there's a way to be authentic yourself and still be presentable and still be able to get your message out. So that's the whole goal of that 90-day challenge. And then the thing that was missing is like I had these two things in space, which were great, but what was missing, can I draw on this? Let's see. Am I able to draw on an image? Oh, sweet. Yes, let's do that. So the 90-day was there. That was great. That was it's a fantastic product to work on and keep improving. And I don't foresee myself selling a lot of those from the jumps from the get-go. I could definitely see the EIS being the main seller, but the benefit here is that the 90-day challenge has a higher price point. So I'm not sure what I'm going to price it. It could be 10K, 15K, or 20K. But the goal is that's going to give a price anchor. It's like, oh shit, okay, that's a 20K package. Like if I really want to go all in and I'm ready to give everything I have, like there are a few of those folks, like the people that in the fitness days that are getting ready for their wedding, they're willing to do everything they can to get in shape for their wedding. That is similar to that package for the folks that need to do everything they can to be ready to go and be ready to launch. So that can be people that are either in the middle of a startup, maybe they're going into Series A, or they're past their seeding rounds, whatever the case may be. And it could be people that are within an organization, they're phenomenal what they're doing, but they need to get more presence out there so that their company or their brand could grow more. And they just need to shake off that whole fear of being in front of a camera. Like people are going to record one time, they're going to buy a big camera setup, they'll get a teleprompter, they'll get a tripod, they'll get fancy lights, and then it catches dust like the treadmill you bought 15 years ago. So we don't want that happening with people. We want people that if they bought these things, we want them to use it, get the consistency, get the joy of using these things. And that is the whole point for that 90 days. So that's a different target audience than what Expert Insight Sessions is. So this is the audience who's a bit more seasoned in their messaging. They know what they got to say. They've been doing it for 5, 6, 7, 10 years. They're good at what they do, but they just have a hard time getting that stuff out into a video format. And they also have a hard time getting the content created. Like, let's be honest, that is a challenging part. If you're not skilled in that side, it seems like a massive mountain to climb. We're essentially making a mountain of a molehill in 2026, but that molehill still seems massive to some who are not either technically inclined or just too busy to worry about learning these new things about how to get the video done, how to record it, how to source out the questions, how to start thinking about it. So sometimes it's nice to have someone just tell you what to do. Show up at this time, get ready with these questions, provide your answers, And now I'm just there to make sure that you look good, sound good, and everything's there. But what's missing was like a hop to get into that. So that's where the whole lead magnet of a scorecard comes in. So I have to think about what is a lead magnet that would be easy, that adds value, that isn't just gonna be some PDF because like everyone does a PDF, which it's let's be honest, it's played out. The PDF, it's just it seems too repetitive. It's been tried and true and done before. So I was thinking something a bit more interactive, and like I got the idea from I'm not sure I forget the person's name, but there's a site called Generalist Career, and they have a quiz. And like, granted, this quiz is different than my quiz. Like, this quiz was done with psychologists on board, with being able to track the personality styles, and essentially you put a bunch of information in. You go through this, and 15 questions. That's actually a good idea. I should put that on the front of the homepage. Let me just screenshot this now. Let me just screenshot the whole page. And I'm going to put that in the journal note. Invisibility scorecard. Let's open that up. I'll go through this in a second, and let me just put at the top so I don't miss it. Copy layout. Perfect. So I'm gonna come back to that. So essentially, you answer a bunch of questions, and you get a score based on the type of marketer you are, what type of generalist are you. So if you ever heard about this, check it out. Generalist Career, great information, great community. I forget the owner's name, but she's fantastic. Had a quick chat with her, and great people. So the whole point of getting the scorecard was something a bit more interactive. You get a result out of it. I get to capture that person's email. And then the goal is to nurture them and send them weekly tips and information on how to break past that barrier of feeling shy on camera, feeling uncomfortable on camera, and just getting stuff out. Because one of the biggest things I tell everybody if you're feeling weird on camera, find your top 5 favorite creators online, flip, at least on YouTube, because you can see the historical, flip to what things were like when they first started, and you'll see things will look completely different. Like I'll show you an example now. You got MKBHD, biggest tech YouTuber. I like using him as an example because he's been at the game for a long, long time. He's been creating content for a long time. So if we're going to videos and we go from oldest, 18 years ago, him just doing golf swing analysis of his own thing. And his 4th video is when he started doing the remote, and that's ages ago, when laptops used to come with remotes for you to control the DVD player that was in the laptop. So you had like a little media center. And then from there, things just grew. You literally watched him go from being an elementary school kid or junior high to going through high school, college, and the whole nine. And now he's the biggest tech YouTuber there is. So it's one of those things where, and let's do one more. Mr. Beast. Hopefully he didn't clean up his old stuff. So if we go to video, oldest, yeah, 14 years ago, him just playing Minecraft. And I think the one that broke him big was him counting to 100,000 or to a million or something like that live. Yeah, so that's where that's going to come in. That's an easy entry point. It's something small. You're getting value out of it. I get your email, which is what you're supposed to be doing at the end of the day. And then my goal is to send you weekly tips to kind of build that trust, show up consistently in your inbox, and then get to the point where you sign up for a video audit. So now the video audit is something that is fairly simple and it's a bit more higher friction. So like, let me just undo all these drawings here. So the scorecard is low friction. You click a few buttons, answer, boom, response comes in, you get stuff into your inbox, easy to do. The video audit is what I'd call high friction. Because what the video audit is all I'm asking you to do is record a 60-second or 30 to 6-second video of you talking about something in your business. So you take your phone out, record the video, and upload it. And then I'm going to give you an analysis and feedback based off of that video. So it's one of those things where not everybody's going to want to do that because, like, okay, I got to record the video. There's some friction. They got to press record. Then they got to finagle, press the upload on their phone, find the file they recorded. I get it. There's not really an easy way to request a video from people to do these things. But if someone's able to go through all that, then I know they really understand that they have a pain point and they want an answer to that. So it's one of those things where at some point you need a high friction entry point because if everything's low friction, then you're going to have a bunch of time wasters, as people like to call them. And you're going to have a great big pool of data coming in where either you're paying hundreds of dollars for emails to be sending out a month, and then you're doing these back-to-back calls, realizing that none of them really wanted your services, or they're just a bunch of tire kickers. That was what I was looking for. But to get that high friction, it's like, look, you've already qualified yourself in saying that I have a problem. I'm willing to do whatever I can to make this better. And now we'll go through this one high friction hoop to help to be able to get some help. And then there's the whole service itself, where That is a terrible S. The money signs comes in, and this one is the double money sign. So now when it comes to the scorecard, I already put a few things aside in terms of notes and questions I have. So I'm going to show that here. And the way it works is, I think it's just 9 questions. Very simple, 9 questions, not too over demanding. And things are broken down into where the whole goal is that by the end of this, the person understands, are they someone who's visible in their space? Are they someone who's not visible in their space? Because then again, if you're already visible and you're doing great, like there's not much I could do for you. Like, yeah, I could possibly help, but the whole goal is to really get those transformation of those folks who are not visible and want to be visible, but they keep trying and trying and they keep hitting a roadblock and they just can't get past that one hump of consistency and getting the stuff out there. This is where this comes into play. So this is a great way to show them that, look, do you have a problem? Let's pinpoint that problem. Let's point that problem out and make sure that you know there's a problem and there's also a solution to that problem. Obviously, you don't want to be showing a problem and not providing the solution. That's just crazy. So the first question is like, how often do you post video content with your face on camera? Again, your face is crucial. It builds trust. It's one of the biggest trust indicators, especially in this whole era of AI content coming out there, AI avatars. The lazy folks are going to go that way. So it's like, never do I don't do video, rarely, occasionally, and consistently. And obviously, the more points you have, we scored from 0 to 3, the higher points you have, the better your position you are, and the lower points you have, the worse position you're in. This goes without saying. So then question 2, if someone Googles your name right now, what do they find? Almost nothing, a LinkedIn profile at best, some old content, a bio page, a few mentions, a few pieces of content, but nothing recent or personal, a clear body of work with videos, articles, talks, and maybe even like a side profile with your name, a knowledge panel. Who knows? Maybe the person has a knowledge panel already. Question 3 is, how does most of your new business arrive? Are you outreaching, actively outreaching and hunting for them, which is the stage I'm in right now? Almost entirely through referrals. That's the stage I used to be in with the marketing agency focusing on SEO. A mix of referrals and occasional inbound from content. That's the dream for a lot of people. And significant inbound, people find me already, they know about my work and reach out to me ready to buy. That is the goal. That is the Goldilocks state. That is the end of the rainbow where we all want to be. So the second bucket of questions, the next 3 are more about authenticity. Like, are you showing up as yourself, or are you creating a caricature or a archetype of a character that you want to be? So how much of your published content is written or produced by someone other than you? That goes back to the ghostwriter video that I recently recorded, which will be coming out soon. But essentially, is all of it being done by an agency and essentially outsourced? Is most of it, but you give input on how people shape things? Or is it to a point where some of it's done, you write some stuff, they write some stuff, and it's almost like a balance of a 50-50 sort of thing? And is it almost on where you like to have all of it, where you like to have control over things? It's your voice, your messaging, and it may be lightly edited by someone to help you, which I think is one of the best ways to go about things. Then question 5 is, if a prospect watched 5 minutes of your video content, could they describe your personality? Can they see the style of you that comes out? Or are you just like reading a script and just cold, like you're a news anchor where they all sound the same, look the same? Granted, I know they go through like sound training to have their voice because it portrays better, whatever the case may be. But the thing is here, you're different, you're an individual. We want to get some of that out. And this is where this question helps you think about that. So you can see like these questions aren't just random questions that are being thrown out in the scorecard. They're questions that are being thrown out to make you start thinking about the end result that we want to get you to. So it's like, if somebody watches it, I don't have video content for them to watch. That's a terrible place to be in, because if you want people to understand and build a personality and a relationship with you, they need to see your face and get to hear your voice and see you in action. The other one is, they don't understand the topic, but not really a great sense of who I am. They get a partial picture of who I am. It's professional, but not personal. And then absolutely, my personality comes through clearly and consistently. I think I give myself a 3 on this, because again, people get the idea of that, like, your personality, your personal self can't come out because you have to be professional, buttoned up all the time. But we're human. Not everybody wears a suit and tie 24/7 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're allowed to have a balance of both. And I think that's the part people have a hard time, is everybody wants to be buttoned up and polished 24/7 when they're putting content out there. But you're able to break free from that and show another side of you, because that's the side that builds the trust, builds the familiarity, builds a side of you that people want to see you in and want to consistently follow your journey and follow your story. We're not saying you need to build a personal brand, a personal media brand, and be big like a Mr. Beats or like some of these other creators, but it's just, let's take elements of success of what these other creators have done to build parasocial relationships and bring that flavor, bring that seasoning into the business, the B2B side of video and content and personal brand building, where everyone's looking for the most perfect of everything. Like, show some flaws, show some mistakes. People want to see some kinks in the armor. They want to let you're human. So bring that side out of you, and that's the whole goal of all this is let that human side of you shine instead of always trying to show the perfect buttoned up side of yourself to get sales. Because like at the end of the day, like if you're good at what if you've been doing what you do for 10 years, I'm gonna already think you're professional. Like if you've been doing it for 10 years, you've been able to be consistent, the company stayed afloat, the company either hasn't fired you, been doing it for years, you're already professional. So that trust factor is almost that trust factor in you being able to do what you say you do is already there. But now, if you sound the same as everybody else, it's like the test they do with websites. How many sites could you go into a particular niche or space, get rid of the logo, and you look at the text, look at the imaging, you wouldn't be able to tell who's who because they're all doing the same thing. Everybody's copying the next person because everyone's too scared to stand out because they think, oh, our customers don't like it. And then the question comes down to, well, if our competitors aren't doing, why should I? That is like lame. If the competitors aren't doing, why shouldn't you? That means like if they're struggling, you're struggling. Why not be the person that breaks through that mold and be the one to stand out? So now if everybody in your space and your niece who's an expert isn't doing something because they're scared. It's like when TikTok first came out. Oh, TikTok's above me, it's for the kids and dancing. You have grown folks on there that are not dancing, just posting content, the same stuff they would have posted on Instagram anyways. They're posting on TikTok and they're getting a bunch of visibility and views and traffic coming back to them because they were able to be comfortable with doing the things that were different or weird. So I think when it comes to the stuff that we do for ourselves in marketing ourselves, whether it's our business or our personal brand, doing things that others aren't willing to do is a quick way to stand out and make sure that you have an edge over others. Because while others are trying to stay safe and not be too shy and not be too out there and want to stay in their safe, cozy bubble, if you're the only one standing out, you're gonna be the winner at the end of the day. Because again, this is a marathon and not a sprint. We got to remember that. So these are the questions again that I have to help uncover and break that out there. Oh, sweet, I got a heart. Nice. Whoever sent that, thank you. Don't feel shy. Don't be shy to leave a message in the comment. Greatly appreciate it. This is a new medium I'm still working to improve on. I got so like dialed in to talking to the camera, I didn't get a chance to look at the screen. So again, what I'm going over is the lead magnet I have for the business. It's a small scorecard. You answer 9 questions, you get a response, and then from there I get to drip feed you emails to build trust, show you that hey, there's a solution to the problem that we've uncovered, that we've unlocked. Let me show you the solution and guide you, move you up the scale, up the ladder to the next services. So then the other question under the section of how authentic are you online is how long does it typically take you to record a 2-minute video? Okay, so this question I like is a 2-minute video should take you no more than 5 minutes. And of those 5 minutes, 2 minutes of it is recording. 1 minute is maybe fixing your face, your hair, making sure everything's good. The other minute is making sure your sound, if you have a microphone set up. So now we're at 4 minutes. And the other minute is just going over your head what you want to say and just at least getting your points out or writing a little bullet points on a card on like a card like this, just so you have your points that you want to say on a camera for a 2-minute video. So 2-minute video is not that complicated. So with this question, what I'm able to say is like, okay, I've never successfully posted one. I've always abandoned them before hitting share. This is probably 99% of people. You record it, then it's like, oh, I don't like how it looks. I sound kind of off. Oh, the background's too noisy. Nobody cares. Nobody flipping cares about any of that. Because at the end of the day, they're going to watch that video and they're going to forget you. But then if they keep scrolling week after week, your face keeps showing up over and over and over again. And best believe that every video you record, 2-minute video you record, you're going to get better at it. You're going to find better ways to do things. You're going to figure out what type of hook you have. You're going to figure out what type of delivery cadence you want to go with. You're going to figure out, am I going to record in my office? Am I going to record while walking the dog or giving a walk with the baby? Am I going to record it just while out waiting for coffee or sitting in a coffee shop? You're going to find your thing. And so when you're doing that 2-minute video, it's like, this idea that people it's like when people wear clothes, you walk outside, you want to wear the nicest clothes, you want to have the nicest car, you're concerned about what other people are going to think about you when they see you, but they're going to forget you. Like one of the things I had to I had to teach or explain to my little brother, not physically little brother, I did big brothers and little brothers in Montreal years ago, best time of my life. And again, teenage kid, you're focused on your hair, having the right shoes, the clothes, the look. I was there too, so it's like I get it. I feel it. I'm not gonna come down with like high and mighty, like you shouldn't care, because I know you're gonna care and you're still gonna care. But then we were talking about cars, and he's like, dude, I gotta get this, I gotta get that. I'm like, okay, but why do you want this car? It's like, well, I want to be seen as good, seen as looked as this, looked as that. And it's like, great, you want to look cool, you want to look great. Then I'm like, I told the experiment live. I'm like, look, you see that car? That was a Porsche. Great. What color is it? It's red. Cool. Wait, we went to the day, we played some games. 3 minutes later, I'm like, what was that car? Oh, it was a Porsche, but I forget what color. I'm like, exactly. That's the whole point. People are going to see something of you. They're going to ingest it. Oh, look, Dave or Chris is doing another video. And they're going to forget completely about you. So the same thing with clothes. You want to wear a particular outfit. You want to wear certain shoes. You want to drive a certain car because you want to be perceived a certain way. But second you're out of that person's eyesight, they have forgotten about you. So that fear of appearing like a fool or not want to be on camera is nonsense. It's a boogeyman. It's completely fabricated. Now, like, unless you're a Kardashian or somewhere where people are following you literally every day to see what you're doing, that's a different story. But you're not that person. Like, we're not that special to other people, unfortunately. Our mom thinks we're special. Our dad may think we're special. Our friends may say we're special. But to the random person online scrolling past things, you're not that special yet. But our goal is to become special for that person by being consistent and showing up time after time after time again. It's like those telemarketer calls. They just keep calling and calling to try to wear you down. Okay, back on point. I'm going off track way too often here. So then it's like, okay, yeah, it takes me hours I do multiple takes, lots of starting over, usually giving up. I've been there myself. I look back, I'm like, it's so silly. The first take is usually 9 times out of 10 the best take, even if you have the mistakes in there. Then you level up, you get to like 20, 30 minutes. I get there eventually, the whole process. And then you get to like expert level where 10 minutes or less. I could just talk to the camera naturally. And there's this magical thing called editing where you could make a mistake and just cut it out. Like, I think people forget that part, and I know I forgot that part at the beginning because I wanted to make the most perfect cut because I didn't want to edit. Because I'm gonna be honest, going into an editing thing for a video is a drag. But like, we now have cell phones with apps on there that are super easy to use, so it's like there's no excuse anymore. Just get CapCut on your phone. You could edit a video with ease. It's super easy, dumbed down, basic. Anyone could do it. No excuses. So then there's the authority side. And like, I'll be honest, that side I'm trying to build right now is the authority side. I went from being excellent in one space to going into a whole new space. And now I got to prove my authority. But this is where these questions come in to get people to start thinking like, okay, like, where am I? Am I really the bee's knees, the top notch in what I do? Am I more of a middle pack, or am I kind of starting out? I need to put extra work in. So this is where our competitors with worse products or services winning deals you should have won. I love that question. That's that question that just kind of rings home. It's like getting stabbed in the chest and the person just kind of tweaking that fork or knife around for no good reason but to make you feel pain. That is the whole point of that question, where it makes you realize like, okay, I need to be doing video. I need to be out there more. I need to create the proverbial content, but not on the content wheel thing. Because I'm not doing anything now, someone else with a worse product who's worse than me, we get people leaving them to come to us. But it's like, if I could have gotten those customers before they went to our competitor and wasted money, would be all gravy. It'd be a win-win. We'd be living the dream right now. We may be going visiting Bora Bora on a quarterly basis, but we're not there because we're hiding our faces from behind the camera. So let's get in front of the camera so we start visiting Bora Bora on a quarterly basis. So then again, the answers are yes, regularly. I'm pretty sure it's because they're more visible than me. Yes, sometimes it's frustrating, but I'm not sure what to do about it. That's a painful one. That is a painful one because like it's okay, I'm not going to dive into that. That's just painful. If you don't know what to do about it, that's hard. Occasionally I'm competitive, but not always the obvious choice. That's a good place to be is you want to work in, but sometimes there's just stuff you don't, there's just not 20, there's only 24 hours in the day. Like sometimes, you need to be doing extra work on one side, but you got to make trade-offs. And sometimes the trade-offs of you doing what you need to do to show up more often just can't be done. And then rarely, I'm usually the known expert when I walk in the room. That is like the dream. You walk into space, people are like, oh, can I get your autograph? Or they all want to run and talk to you. That is like the bee's knees of life to be. That's when you start wearing the Tom Cruise glasses, you have bodyguards around you, and you start walking like you're the ish and your ish don't stink. Then question A is when you get on a sales call, how often does the prospect already know and trust you? And this is the dream, right? You want to be out there so frequently that when somebody calls you, like, look, I'm already ready to give you my money. My boss just said I have to call you. We have to go through this whole performance thing where I'm already set on you. I've made my choice and give you my money. Let's just have a chat. Let me make vibe check to make sure the personality you portrayed online is the same thing I'm going to be dealing with. Then I want to know a bit more what your process and system is. Am I going to be dealing with you on my calls as the manager calls, or going to be passing me off to a junior? Like, let me just get past through these formalities so I know what's what. And then that person can go tell their manager and their boss that, hey, this person's A-okay. Let's give them some money and let them handle XYZ service, or let's make use of their product for our business. And that's like simple. It's almost never. Sometimes they know who I am. Oftentimes, and maybe half the time, they're familiar with my work. And like almost always, they've seen my content. They already believe in me before we speak, which is the dream scenario to be in. And the last question, do you regularly receive inbound interest from people who've never met you? And that's one of those things where like they never met you in person. Cause like if you're doing trade shows, you're going out there, you're doing networking events in person. So I mean, those people are going to meet you, and ideally, those will be the type of relationships, type of deals you'll be getting in. But if you're able to get a deal from somebody that I saw in a podcast, and great, take my money, I'm ready to give my money, and that's great. That is huge because that lets you know, one, the work you're doing is getting results, is getting feedback. You are essentially getting people in the pipeline for you. But at the same time, it's the work that you're putting out. This is one of the tangible ways to measure our results coming in. So those are the 9 questions. They get scored out. And then the scoring ranges, I got to put cool names for this, right? You can't just put any random name. Let me zoom in here a bit. Is if you're terrible at this, you're the invisible expert. You're like a ghost. I should just call you Casper. That's what you are. And you're Casper, the friendly expert, but nobody knows you exist. And then there's the emerging authority. It's like you're coming out. It's like that rising star who's got like one hit single, but he's got to keep that momentum going. And that's where most stars and most musicians face. They get the one hit, they ride that wave, and they just crash and burn. But you got to get a few other things up there to keep that wave going for a long, long time. And then you got the omnipresent leader. They're crushing it. At this point, like, the only thing I really could do for you is help you get the content created without you having to worry about it yourself. This is for the type of person, maybe a solopreneur or is in a company doing a lot of stuff themselves, and they're just like, look, I'm tired. I need to spend more time on these deals that are coming in. I need your help to help me just produce the content and make sure that I look good. That's where that comes down to. So that's the scorecard. Weekly tips, start with that. You answer those questions, and then I send you weekly emails. And then from there, that goes into the video audit, which let me see if I have a page here that I could show that would show what that looks like. And I probably should have had this prepped ahead of time, and I got like a million tabs open. So let's see if one of these, if I don't find, I'm just gonna skip over that because I realize how dull this is on a recording, and I wasn't planning on showing this. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip that. But essentially, the video audio, it's a form. You put in your name, your email, you upload a video real quick, and I give you the feedback. And then that all goes to the next step, where eventually with the emails that come in, I build your trust and you end up signing up for the expert insight session. And then I try to obviously upsell you to the 90-day coaching program, which is the bee's knees of a product. So now let me come back to my face here. There we go. So that's now the whole offer stage, offer ladder connected, where everything's connected. I have the entry point to get you into my door, into my world, like into my Walmart sort of a space. You walk through the door, you're greeted by the scorecard and weekly tips. You like it, you put your email in, you come in, and then I put you on a nice little conveyor belt with a bunch of information coming at your way every week. And then an offer comes up like, hey, do you want to do a video audit? That comes in. If you say no, cool, that's fine. I hit you up later again saying, hey, just do a video audit. Send me a video of you explaining something in your business, and I'll give you feedback. And then you're on that conveyor belt. More emails are coming in, showing you some value, giving you tips on how to make yourself break through that barrier and fear you have of showing up on camera. So those emails keep coming in. Then boom, an offer comes in for expert insight session. You keep getting those emails. Offer comes in for 90 days. So that's the whole picture of things. So now that I have it, this makes sense for me to now go on a whole marketing run. Like, I got to now put myself out there. Like I said, I'm not an emerging artist. Yes, I have the expertise, I have the knowledge, but I'm not known yet. So now I got to get out there. And that's where I'm looking at doing, like, obviously there's ads, which is one thing that's going to be running regardless. But the one thing I'm looking at doing is getting a whole podcast run. And the podcast run I like because, one, it's an opportunity to engage and talk. Two, people are doing podcasts already have an audience. So it's like, great, how do I get myself in front of a target audience who doesn't know I exist, but is going to be showing up for someone else right now? So it's almost like, I forget what that fish is, but like there's the whales and shark, and that one fish that latches on for the ride and maybe some nutrition and then bounces off. Essentially what I'll be doing, I'll be kind of not parasite. That's a bit more like suckling and pulling away because I want to bring value to that community. I'm not trying to take away, but the whole goal is, how could I leverage someone else who's built an audience and help them get the content they need to create? Because every podcast person needs to create content on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, and I got to get my face, my mug on there, and my messaging to give them content. So what I found, I'm going to share my screen here, is a site called Podmatch. So let me do this too. There's also so there used to be Facebook groups that I used to use back in the day when I ran my podcast, where I'd go into these groups and try to find people. Let me see if I could pull up an example of this, of a podcast group. Okay, let me go back to screen share. So if you didn't know, I ran a podcast called Next Gen Fridays. Let me go to groups. Am I not joined to any of these? Group post. Oh man, I swear Facebook has like the worst search in the world. Podcast, find a guest. This is one. Yeah, this is one I joined. So it's like you could go to, isn't there like a filter to find the guest? So this is where people like be a guest. You post your photo up, and people try to get you to be a guest in your podcast. So like this, I'm not singling out this dude, Amon, cool name, reminds me of a singer back in the '90s. And like he did this whole thing, but I found like the type of podcasts were always the same. Was more like life coachy style. Like there was really nothing of, I'll say, value. I'll put it that way. It could be controversial, but it was just all life coaching. So now instead, there's a site called Podmatch, which I'm gonna test it out. I don't want to log in. So Podmatch matches you. It's almost like a Tinder swipe thing, which is like a genius idea. Like I'll be honest, that is clever. Where you just swipe through and you say like, "Am I a guest? Am I a host? Am I both? Or am I an agency?" And essentially, it's like, great. If someone's, if I'll explain this. I'll finish explaining this. So this is him proving the point, the whole numbers and all that. It's been featured in all these places. So how it works is you create your profile as a guest or host, put all the information in, you put in your talking points that you have, you put your social handles. That's where you get your whole media kit. You get the images, the best images of you. You put the sites and the place you want people to visit you. So like your LinkedIn page, your homepage, the whole nine. And you start matching people. So you'll be able to be matched with a other host of businesses that are doing things similar to this. This is where the whole swipe action comes in, which is it's weird and great at the same time. And then you do a little messaging back and forth, confirm the interview. If you're a good fit, little vibe check. Then you got like a whole schedule, almost like a CRM built in, which is pretty nice. And then you just get ready to book an interview and you start talking to someone. That's the gist of it. It's like the Tinder for podcast guests and podcast hosts. And the reason why I'm liking this more than the Facebook route is like Facebook's free. It's great. Sometimes money's tight. You got to do what you got to do. But in my experience of looking at this for over a year, it's all life coachy folks with the podcast. Is there's a price. Like if you're a host, you're paying at least $6 a month to $64 a month to be on there to start finding people. So if people are willing to put some money in, willing to put some blood into the dirt, that's not the quote, but they're put some blood into the dirt to grow their podcast. I want to start showing up and being in front of those folks. And then on the guest side, it's not free also. It's $32 a month to $64 a month. And if you're an agency, that's the price. And if you're both, you pay a bit more. But people put some blood and tears, sweat and tears into it, some sweat equity, some money behind it. I want to be connecting with those people. So I'm going to be signing up for this week. That's been one of my big projects for this week. And I've been putting together like my little media package of what I want to do and what I want to talk about while on these podcasts. Do I have that here? Whoa, let me zoom out of here. Do I have that here? Becoming a guest on podcast. Yeah, so these are just my notes of things to do, right? Like watch their video channels. What's great, so I'll share some tips. What's great about them is they have like guides on how to be the best guest. And like I've hunted for guests in the past. Like if you don't know about Next Gen Fridays, it's still live. This is where Helping Youth went. There's a bunch of this was around COVID 2020. And as a millennial, if you're a millennial, you grew up being told that we're lazy, we don't want to work. Us buying avocado toast is why the economy is being ruined. And then it's the proverbial message of, oh, you guys are lazy, don't want to work, which if you go in history, every generation's gone through that. Like you've had newspaper clippings from like the 1930s that said Gen X was lazy or the boomers were lazy. Like again, it's just a thing that seemed to be done for every generation. And now Gen Z is being told is lazy. And I'm like, you know what? It's not true. A bunch of folks out there are hustling, grinding, doing their thing. So my goal for this was let me find a bunch of young people that are doing great things. So this is like Nyla, who's in STEM and research at the age of, I think, 14, wrote 2 books already. Phenomenal stuff. Then you had Sharana. She had a skincare company, teeth whitening. Started off by doing like little as a teeth whitening technician and just kind of expanded out. So that was the whole goal of Next Gen Fridays. Let's showcase the stories of those who are winning. And in that is the challenge of like finding the guest is hard. It's work. It's a full-time job, which is why I stopped doing the podcast. Then you got to make sure the audio is good. They got the right packaging. You're trying to get the image done. You're trying to get all the links organized. It's a ton of work. So when I look at Podmatch and them having a guide of helping you get trained to get stuff ready to make the host life easier, I love that. That is great. So that is my goal for this week, is to get my account up and running, get my face out there, find some podcast hosts to be on, and then start talking about the things I'm talking about, which is like bringing an end to faceless content. Why trust is the most important. Let me come back here to my face talking about faceless content. And let me bring my note back up. So that's again my goal for being on these runs. Some of the talking points is bringing an end to faceless content. Like it's 2025, 2026. You can't be doing the whole logo thing anymore. Like people want to buy from people. People want to have trust. And then talking about how AI is forcing the trust to be coming through a human. Like AI is forcing people to be less trustworthy of content that's out there. You're reading a post, is this AI written? Like we all know about the M dash, we all know about the bold stuff. And like you're starting to second guess, is this image real? Is that real? So people are gonna be craving for authenticity, for real, for unique, for human connection. And I think we saw a glimpse of that during COVID as well, where people were craving human interaction more than ever before, despite being in a culture and a work situation. It's like go, 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 work, work, work. Oh, little baby's coming to say hi. Um, and another talking point there is just helping people break past the barrier of the challenge of showing up on video. It's like you already say these things to your customers on a daily, weekly basis over and over again. Now you just got to record on your phone. Like it's not that hard. Just get the camera out, do a little thing, talk about it, and post it and share it. So those are some of the talking points. I'm putting all my things together to make it neatly organized and packed to make myself more attractive to that podcast host so that they pick me. That's baby Malou saying hello and saying hi, and is also letting me know that I think I am coming near the end of this stream. But for those that are watching, thanks for following. So that's my goal. So to recap everything today, I showed the offer ladder where we're going to start. I'm going to be starting with the scorecard. From there, getting people to the more high friction entry point of doing a video audit, record a video. I give you feedback and give you some tips on how to improve things, how to improve your presence, how to improve your messaging in those videos. Then there's the actual expert insight session offer, which is more close to a content marketing agency. And then there's the high ticket offer, which is a 90-day coaching for the folks that need to get a kick in the behind, to need to go through a full boot camp and rush from being awkward, weird on camera to feeling cozy and comfortable and just being themselves. Let that natural side of you come out. The reason you got friends is because they like you for you. It's not for the person you're trying to be. And these are the same rules for dating. Well, I'm not going to give dating advice. That's a whole different podcast, but let that side of you come out. And that's the whole goal of the 90-day challenge. And then from there, I'm explaining how I'm going to be doing the podcast run because I need to get my messaging out there, being more seen, more visible to an audience that doesn't know I exist yet. So that is my goal. If you learned anything, I hope you do the whole Podmatch thing as well. Shout me out in the comments if that's something that you're interested in doing. It'd be cool to have people on the same journey with me doing this. Other than that, you guys have an awesome rest of the day. If you're watching the recap, go outside, touch some sun, touch some grass, get some sunshine, breathe that fresh, clean air, and step away from the computer screen. Thanks a lot. Ciao.